as she was picking flowers by the coast, Europa would draw the attention of Zeus, with the king of the gods deciding to claim her as his own. To hide his infidelity from Hera, Zeus decided to transform himself into a magnificent white bull before travelling down to Earth. Upon seeing the bull, Europa would be mesmerised by its beauty, and so decided to climb upon its back. The moment she mounted him, however, Zeus would set out at full speed, sprinting straight into the sea. Screaming in terror, Europa would grip desperately to the bull's horns as it ran across the vast ocean. To reassure the terrified princess, Zeus would decide to reveal his true identity, telling her he was not merely a beast, but instead the king of the gods. The two would eventually arrive at Crete, the island on which Zeus was hidden as a child, where she would bear him many children. Their offspring would eventually become some of the most renowned men of Greece, with Minos, the king of Crete and owner of the legendary Minotaur, being amongst them. To commemorate his love for Europa, Zeus would name the continent where they stood Europe in her honour, and would recreate the image of the white bull in the stars, which would become known as the constellation Taurus. Hera, wife of Zeus and queen of the gods, was the protector of marriage and women, being deeply respected in Greek society. Although she was revered, she was also one of the most vengeful and spiteful gods on Mount Olympus, making her a poor match for her husband Zeus, whose numerous affairs would constantly draw her anger. Despite being his queen, Hera would only bear him 2 of the 12 Olympians, Ares and Hephaestus, with the other gods coming from Zeus's numerous affairs. One of Zeus's most insulting acts of infidelity would be with the Princess Io, one of Hera's most devoted priestesses. When Hera came to investigate, in an attempt to protect Io from his wife, Zeus would transform her into a beautiful white cow. But the queen of the gods was not fooled by the deception, and knowing that she had caught Zeus red-handed, would demand that he gift her the white cow as a present. Knowing that refusing the request would only confirm Hera's suspicions, Zeus saw little choice but to accept, with Hera locking Io in a cave, where she would be guarded by the 100-eyed monster known as Argus. The perfect guardsman, Argus could sit with half his eyes asleep and the other half awake, never breaking his watch. Zeus was too terrified of Hera to intervene himself, but he would eventually send the messenger god Hermes to free the miserable Io. A master musician, Hermes decided to defeat Argus not through strength but through wit. Approaching the monster as a friend, he began playing his pipes and singing sweet lullabies until Argus began to fall asleep. As the 100th eye finally shut, Hermes would take out his sword and slay the beast before releasing Io from her prison. To thank Argus for his service, Hera would take his eyes and set them in the tail of the peacock, her favourite bird, which would become a symbol of her power. Not yet finished with Io, she would send a gadfly to torment her as she made her escape, almost driving the woman insane. Io wandered long and far, with the sea which she ran along being named the Ionian Sea in her honour. The Bosporus, which means Ford of the Cow, would also be named to commemorate the moment she passed by during her wanderings. Io would eventually arrive at the Nile in Egypt, far away from Hera, where Zeus would finally be able to restore her human form. The two would have a child, Epiphus, with Io becoming the ancestor to many of Greece's greatest heroes, including Perseus and Heracles. Leto, yet another of Zeus's lovers, and the mother of Apollo and Artemis, would experience the full extent of Hera's jealous rage. After finding out Leto had laid with Zeus and fallen pregnant with twins, Hera would send the great serpent Python to torment her, forcing Leto to flee across Greece in a desperate search to find refuge and a place to give birth to her children. But Hera would forbid any city from providing her with shelter, with Leto travelling from Athens to Crete, from Lemnos to Samnos.
Lemnos to Samnos, to Lemnos to Gemnos.
sneak peek. I ain't gonna give y'all one yet. I ain't gonna show y'all every little step. Y'all gotta wait to the end.
Heck, and it got the thing of it's observing the 15. Like, come on. That shit is so hard. But yeah, though, that's all for today's video. You know what I'm saying? I hope
You'll have 6 hours to create a Victorian tattoo on your canvas's throat. And based on your work, one of you will close shop. Good luck.
Let's get this figured out.
Throat tats.
Just warn you, throat is like serious spot, especially when you go all up in here.
Today, finesse is important because you're tattooing a very sensitive area. Throat tattoos equal pain.
So be like,
You want to get out. You want to do the least amount of trauma possible. If you screw up, this person's going to wear a turtleneck for life.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Seconds until minions spawn. Minions have spawned.
It's not stealing if they're dead. I make my own fortune. Laws are whatever works at the time. This one's better duck. Kings come and go. Grace stays. Get paid and get out. Loyalty isn't earned. It's bought. Everyone has a price. Heads up! Honor is the rust on a dull blade. Deathlight, direct fire. You can't
Fine.
tame the desert.
I'll be way out of her. That's fine. Fuck.
I'll fight for a cause. I won't die for one.
An ally has been slain.
I've got values. They stack up nicely. Heroes go.
Executed.
The only thing I look up to. Better duck!
Enemy killing spree.
Wealth is not a kind of burden. It's not stealing if they're dead. Heads up! I make my own fortune. Make me work for it. Laws are whatever works at the time.
An enemy has been slain.
Get paid and get out. Loyalty isn't earned, it's bought.
An ally has been slain.
Everyone has a price.
Enemy killing spree. Enemy rampage.
You can't tame the desert. I'll fight for a cause. I won't die for it. I've got values. They stack up nicely.
An enemy has been slain. An enemy is unstoppable. Enemy double kill. Shut down. Shut down.
Don't get between me and my goal. Better duck! Heroes go home. I go where the trouble is.
An ally has been slain. Enemy double kill. An enemy has been slain. Enemy triple kill.
It's not stealing if they're dead.
Your turret has been destroyed. Your turret has been destroyed.
I make
Turret plating will fall soon. Flame Lord.
back off. Better duck. Laws are whatever works at the time. Take this. Heads up. Crack 'em like a doom.
An ally has been slain.
Kings come and go. Their gold stays. Get paid and get out. is the rust on a dull blade. You can't tame the desert. I'll fight for you. I won't die. Heads up! I've got values. They stack up nicely.
Shut down.
Heroes go hungry.
An enemy has been slain. Shut down.
Wealth is my kind of burden. Better duck! Please, good shot, all.
To our side. Enemy double kill. Your team has destroyed a turret.
It's not stealing if they're dead. I make my own fortune. Heads up! Laws are whatever works at the time.
An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain.
For
An
crit,
ally
bro.
has been slain.
Here's what I like.
Your turret has been destroyed.
You can't tame the desert. I'll fight for it. I've got values. They stack up nicely. Heroes go hungry.
Heads up. Shieldy.
The only thing I look up to.
Shut down.
I make my own fortune. Laws are whatever works at the time. Kings come and go, but gold. Get paid and get out.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Loyalty isn't earned. Everyone has a price.
Better talk.
stack up nicely. Heroes go hungry.
Back off.
Not worth my time.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
Wealth is my kind of burden.
Enemy has been slain.
It's not stealing if they're dead.
An ally has been slain.
I make my own fortune.
An ally has been slain.
Laws are whatever works at the time. Nice try. Kings come and go, but gold stays. Better duck! Life's cheap. Death pays. Get paid and get out. Loyalty isn't earned. It's bought.
finally got through to my canvas and convinced her into 86ing this hourglass idea. Doing a straight line on a throat is a next to near impossible feat, so I'm just gonna reference a nice fancy bird cage and surround it with some nice pretty filigree.
Okay with that?
You've got to keep it simple.
To put this on in pieces, it's just not gonna go on all at once.
This is super stressful. If this design's off just by a hair, it's gonna be totally obvious.
Hang your head off the table, and let me see if I can get the area a little flatter for me.
I'm willing to spend extra time in the placement just to make sure it's perfect.
Lean forward like this real quick. It's just not lined up with your chest.
If I pull this thing off perfect, I'm so gonna have the win.
4 hours to go, guys. 4 more hours.
How's yours sitting?
Like a trooper.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
see. Wish everybody sent like this when they got their tattoos.
My strategy got me to this point, and now it's just about doing a good tattoo. If you make a wrong choice, you're out of the game.
And there's something weird going on. Her skin will not take the ink. I'm literally leaving just marks. I'm pissed off. I'm scared because I have no idea even what's happening.
3 minutes? Just can't get it, bro. Her skin is just so hard to tattoo.
Chris can't pull a line on her neck to save his life. It just sucks. Some people have tough skin. It's hard to work with. You just can never tell until you start.
I'll make 4 passes at the same spot, and it won't be black.
How was it having all that power today?
Saw how I went about it. Tried to be as fair as I could, man. I'm not looking to screw anybody.
I think it's smart on this challenge to just play it safe. I'm deciding not to do anything too crazy and elaborate, so I can take my time and do a nice tattoo.
1 hour remaining. Final hour.
Whoa.
I know.
I'm tattooing a piece of Victorian lace to mimic a dress that her grandmother wore in a wedding photo. I know I can nail this.
You're doing awesome. Let me get that last one.
Not only is my canvas not taking the ink, but she's starting to cry, and I feel like she's gonna quit on me any minute.
The lowest one. The lowest one right here.
I've been tattooing 18 years, and this is the hardest canvas I've ever had to tattoo in my entire life. I would not be surprised if this is the tattoo that's gonna send me home.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Time's up. Machine's down. No more ink.
Hell yeah! That is so awesome!
Like it?
Dope! Oh my gosh. It looks amazing.
Chris has packed so much white in this thing. The first time this lady lays out and does a tan, it's gonna turn yellow. It's gonna look like baby vomit. I couldn't be more stoked that he has jacked the dog out of this tattoo. As far as finesse goes, bro, you blew it.
Today, you had to use finesse to create intricate Victorian tattoos on very delicate skin. Eric, we will start with you.
How hard was it to outline this guy's neck?
Tough.
You definitely have some areas where you folded some things up and then had to match the other side.
Definitely a fine line between blowout or scratch.
When you get into the details and you look at the finesse side of this thing, there's a lot of inconsistencies in what should be a symmetrical design. Little piece of filigree has that little double bump over there. You go to the other side, there's no double bump. This tattoo just has a lot of unattractive aesthetics to it.
Tyler.
Overall, the design is strong, man. The black is definitely Victorian, and it also works great on this guy's throat because it might not be the most masculine imagery, but now you toughen it up with all that black.
What you did here is you took an asymmetrical subject, which is the harp, and you figured out a way to put this on this guy's throat in a symmetrical way with your filigree and your design work here. I think it's very cool. Matt.
Overall, the tattoo is dark. From 20 feet away, it looks like a black handkerchief around her neck.
I do know it will lighten up through time.
But your outlines aren't going to straighten out over time. The outlines that are in the swirl patterns, there's a lot of hiccups in those lines. You definitely have considerable blowouts happening near the collarbone of the neck. That's where your lack of finesse is.
Why would you do that straight line across the top? That least give her some little scallops off the top and break it up. It doesn't look soft. It just looks like you slit her throat.
Craig,
It was a very hard challenge to try to do these parallel lines that go across the bottom of the crown right there across the divot of his throat. The circle comes out pretty wonky, but at the end of the day, it's a strong, clear image.
what you did here, and with a great use of finesse, is make a masculine tattoo for this guy that is in the Victorian style. I think it's a great job, man. Cruzman. I really love this. I love that it's so simple and clean and readable. You have really nice soft shading here in this bird cage.
Your tattoo looks deliberate. It's one pass, one shot, in and out. This is what you want to do. Thank you.
Duffy.
Just the outline alone is a great example of finesse. All these curves, very smooth, all have a very natural flow. All your little circles around the heart look very concentric.
It's pretty great. Great, perfect. Why are you crying?
It's just a good feeling.
Come on, lady. This is what it's all about, right? Like, this is why you came.
They're definitely happy tears. I needed it.
Beautiful tattoo.
Thanks.
On wings of night.
Do you do many neck tattoos?
I do a lot of throat tattoos, and this was probably in 18 years the toughest skin I've ever worked with. As leather as it could be. I used 9 setups and 12 different needles.
If you did go through that much trouble to please this client, that in itself is a use of finesse.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Innocent
Did you come to the
cry.
idea? Let's see how white pounds in.
The white only took me the last 10, 15 minutes total.
It looks like it. All the color in the
30 seconds until minions spawn.
shading looks real sketchy. All this outline on this side behind this ear looks scratched in. It looks like you were tattooing a buck and bronco, but she seemed to be sitting still.
Time to pull the
In
judges.
the dark,
Who's got the best tattoo
all
of the day?
is laid
Duffy
bare.
took this one, as far as I'm concerned.
A great design, a great fit to the skin, great application.
It's perfect, smooth, beautiful, and on
Minions
top
have
of everything,
spawned.
it's the largest amount of work. Anybody that you're up against can't deny you win.
The judges have decided the best tattoo of the day goes to Duffy. Today, you had to use finesse to create a Victorian tattoo on your canvas's throat. It's time to find out who the human canvas jury determined had the worst tattoo of the day.
The dark should fear me.
Matt, you're here because the human canvas jury determined that you had the worst tattoo of the day. Why did the jury vote?
You can aim for mine. I thought it would be a lot lighter.
I know that the gray wash will be considerably light enough. One of the areas where I
Beware.
put the deeper black will actually stay dark for you. It's not going to light that much. It comes up a little bit. And I feel bad for you. It's going to be a dark.
Don't make this personal. I'm not dressed so I was really thrown off.
I pass judgment.
It makes me go there and stand here and know that.
Purge with silver.
Matt, I'll tell you outright, it looks like she's a
That was mine.
The finesse
The shadows are to be feared.
throughout this tattoo.
This thing just doesn't say Victorian.
All of the males that were tattooed today, I don't think any of them really have a Victorian look to them. I mean, you want to give some dude some lazy design.
You can make those flourishes tough. For me, it has
Evil
to start
lurks
with the drawing.
around
And I feel like
every
this
corner.
drawing does not have the effort that you have to put forward to fight these guys off.
Chris.
This tattoo looks a lot more hammered than some of the other tattoos we saw today. In 6 months, this will be the worst looking of the 7 tattoos.
I think what's important is
I smell black magic.
fit her to a T. One thing that bothers me about masks more than anything else is that putting it in a weird place on the body where it doesn't fit. To me, is a bigger.
Wings of night.
First blood.
Because it's not going to.
Determined.
Today, you will not
The judges have decided
trying to lay
hear
a
the
schedule nice and
innocent
flat and easy.
cry.
It's going all over the place. It's sloppy. I'm gonna have to adapt and simplify my design, and hopefully it looks good on this really weird, hangy skin.
Have to freehand it. It's freehand master.
So he's not willing to give the canvas the tattoo the canvas wants.
Right.
I can hear you, douchebag.
Sometimes it's your canvas's tattoo.
Listen, you keep running middle of
An
the road.
enemy has been slain.
Be second at the finale too, see where we got you.
Someone gets real grumpy when people start talking to him.
They're not talking to me, they're talking
Beware.
about me. It's difference, bro.
See what the hell I'm doing. Everything's swelling
The
up.
shadows are to be
I
feared.
just have to go off the instinct and follow my gut, my intuition.
Oh, that's my neck.
If I drop the ball, my team does not get the advantage, and I've pretty much proven to these other coaches that I can't compete them going into the master face-off.
I release them from their pain. Evil lurks around every corner.
Jeremy, it's his day, he's tattooing. Then he's not taking it.
This is your final hour.
I smell black magics.
Upper in just a little shading off of blacks up, give a little skin just to fill that gap just a tiny bit. Get through that, get it solid, get clean.
Dropping my machine.
The dark should fear me.
I'm not sure why I'm nervous right now, but people telling you different things to do, it kind of gets in your head.
You want to try like that bloodberry color? It's like a deep blue, it's really, real pretty.
Josh might be a little bit too hands-on.
In the dark, all is in
I've been on the line the last 3 times, so
cleansing
An
blood.
enemy has been slain.
hopefully, bro. All I can say.
I bring swift death.
Doing the skull and the roses, you got a lot of really solid, dense black in that soft skin, and then you also contrasted with the really bright red in the roses.
Has slain an enemy. Double kill.
Super tough area, especially the triangle. That was why I was so fumbled up. It happens all afterwards, but how you get back up from the swing.
You shall be spared.
Really strong clean out. Really went with a simple color.
Design, great example of that spot.
The smoothness and the quality of the black and gray, that reminds us why
Beware.
you're sitting as a coach. Beautiful side, beautiful
An
entry.
enemy has been slain.
Center, beautiful exit, and the precision of that beat dropping down to a perfectly sharp point, dead center. Everything's dark and breathable.
This tattoo's absolutely gorgeous, but I don't think it met the challenge.
He dodged the one place that you had to tattoo, the under chin.
The shadows are
Judges,
to
it
be
is time to
feared.
determine the winner of this class. As far as the adaptability goes today, I really like the
Killing spree.
mile away. My vote is for DJ.
They will be cured.
They lose the contrast and they lose the shape. Anthony's figure is very dynamic.
One vote for Anthony, one vote for DJ.
Today, Anthony.
Judges have
On
decided the
wings of
winner of
night.
today's class challenge is Anthony.
Thank you, guys. This feels amazing. I don't have as much experience as these other coaches. I pretty much smashed it. That's what I needed.
You'll have 6 hours to tattoo the back of your canvas. Fail to impress the judges,
I
and you
smell
will be
black
back to your
magics.
Good luck.
see the back of your neck real quick.
I want to get in, like, what kind of stuff you're going for?
I like a lot of color.
I know everyone assumes that I'm just an good.
I release them from their pain. Evil lurks around every blending blood like silver.
Something in my body is telling me no, like this needs to be different, and I can't figure out what that different needs to be. Like it's stuck between both. I don't know what to do.
I pass as judgment. I hear the innocent cry.
Go team.
I don't know, man. I think we should just do the eagle. I think it looks so easy.
Yeah, you're fine.
The design, I like it. I think it's striking, but I can't spread the wings far enough. I'm. Where are you getting tattooed right now? I want a tattoo. But my boyfriend would kill me if I shaved my head.
Beware.
An enemy has been slain.
All this time I could be spending with him. Me being here, I want to make him smile. It'll kill me to be drop the ball now. So close.
In the dark, all is laid bare.
Shut down. Rampage.
On wings again. The shadows are to be feared.
Khan's trying to hold me back.
The dark should fear me.
Isn't gonna cut it. If I drop the ball in the slightest bit, all this hard work I put into this entire competition could be for nothing.
3 hours remaining, everybody.
I smell black magics.
It doesn't look anything like Mandala, that's for sure.
The first 3 years of my tattoo career. I will not let myself.
Impure food. We will return unstoppable.
Turret plate will fall soon.
I release.
Unstoppable. Has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed a turret. An enemy has been slain. Double kill.
You know exactly.
On wheels of light. Executed. Beware.
Jason. I love this design, but the perspective you chose to show, it creates some questions.
You have it leaning forward, but then you have the roses in front of it, making it an impossible trick. And then the climb work in the top of the compliments on the back and neck is not as nice.
Once my canvas
I
strikes its head
smell
over
black
just an
magics.
uphill battle from there.
Cam.
Evil lurks around every corner.
Enough to make it that smooth transition.
But the biggest problem in this tattoo are these swords. The handles of a couple of the swords aren't aligned, and then just in the black, not up to par with the work that you normally do.
The dark should fear me.
You're next. Laura. It's really beautiful. It's really delicate.
So I recommend some sort of
From their pain.
Overall, you get a really nice
Your team has destroyed a turret.
In the dark, all is
Your team has destroyed a turret.
very stumpy.
design choices of the West.
I hear the innocent cry out.
Today you had to demonstrate finesse. Based on your work, one of you really...
Cam's just making very strange decisions. The frosting fire, also the inconsistencies of the skin breaks around the swords where they
Cleansing blood with silver.
and also just the red. It's so red, and it really makes it look so painful.
Within my work, so when I don't meet
Impure fools. The shadows are to be feared.
Dude, you stepped into a box. You stepped into the stagnant box. Finished part of the straight areas into
Beware.
your line work falls apart. Jason's at hand after things got completely ready, so my problem
I know that I dropped the ball on the ground. School for it, and I think this was just a panic situation, and I was, like I said,
Rampage.
quick!
Godlike. team has destroyed a turret around every
There is
corner.
nothing that I would say standing back, looking at this like stuff
Forgive me.
that you put onto this guy's head.
If I had to choose between doing a technically good tattoo or damaging someone's skin, I would gracefully walk out of here.
It's a tough call because do I want the design that's great on paper that's not great on paper that's gonna stay forever?
You don't want crooked swords that you can't fix either.
I smell black magics.
Heaviest hitters out the door based on Trump.
Always laid bare. Legendary. On wings of light. Has destroyed a turret.
Stability and strength. Immovable circle.
Your team has destroyed a turret. I am swift. Shut down. They will be killed. The dark should fear me.
We look after us all.
I smell black magics.
Blazing phoenix.
Evil lurks around every corner. Radiant
girl, but if I had that tattoo, I would have to cover up another cover up. My canvas loved it, so I'm gonna stick behind it. Do it.
Behind you with it too, so.
Somebody's gotta.
For today's elimination tattoo, we're testing your ingenuity by tattooing a cover-up. You have 6 hours, and your time starts now.
Ready for this?
Definitely. Ingenuity is very necessary to be able to do a cover-up. There's a lot of different elements, understanding the positioning of the tattoo and being able to disperse light and dark evenly so it's not so obvious where the cover-up is.
How you feeling? Good?
I'm fine.
Samurais don't hurt? I am excited I get to do a samurai. I'm not so excited about the piece that I have to cover. What I'm worried is about the size. How the am I gonna make this fast enough, smooth enough to finish on time?
Be a long day. I don't want to approach this tattoo using a lot of black. I want to get some opaque grays in there. I want to use some kind of texture.
I'm gonna be down to the wire, I think.
I'm sure these other guys are underestimating me. It's my size right off the bat. It's something I dealt with all my life, but that's what keeps me going. Sooner or later, they're gonna respect me for what I do.
You doing the white down?
Yeah, right down his nose a little bit.
The cover up, it's not covering. My last option is black.
You know, that's one of the only places I can put a light color, you know what I mean? Because the cover up is all like right in the middle.
I've been backtracking a little bit, second guessing myself, so I'm kind of running out of time. I gotta go with the black, and I gotta get this tattoo covered.
5 minutes left.
Time is killing me. I'm really stressed because I don't want to compromise the quality of the tattoo, but I don't want to not finish the tattoo.
Lalo.
One of the most difficult things to cover up is parallel lines, and they took over the whole calf.
I think it could have been better had you add a little bit more flair. You got this big, dark, black ball down there. I think you're going to put some there, then put some there.
This thing's lacking detail everywhere. So I thought you were going to murder this thing, but it murdered you.
Mike.
I think I covered it pretty well. My client's first option was to do his dog, which was pure white. We all know that wouldn't happen.
It's definitely one of those tattoos that's just got cover up written all over it.
My first intention with the piece was to do some more hair texture, but I decided to abandon that, block in some solid color, and get that cover up done.
If you pulled an American Pit Bull reference and you saw that this part was lighter, you would have been able to shade in like some gray, even opaque, and kind of break up this darkness. And I think that's a big design flaw in your tattoo.
Lalo. Mike. Trey. None of you impressed us today.
Mike, you did a big, huge black tattoo. Not exactly what we're looking for.
I think I made the right choice by pounding into black because my first approach was to load it up with texture, but I don't think my client's skin could handle it. I'd rather be up here from pounding in solid black than have a screen full of chopped meat up there. Out of all of the bottom three here, the only person that still had a tattoo showing through a little bit was Trey. I mean, we are here to cover up tattoos.
Lalo, you realize that the majority of everything that you're going to be asked to do is going to be pretty heavy outline.
I think the weakest lines are the ones in the background, which I had to do in the end. But that's not an excuse to not do a good tattoo. I can do clean outline.
It's night and day, the performance, man. I hope you can turn it around because I'd like to see the good stuff that I know you have.
Any one of you could justifiably be sent home. The judges have decided. Mike, you do not have what it takes to be Ink Master.
You're simply going home because your color palette is way off, because you're in such a dark area. A lot of black. That sent you home today.
Artists, today you must cover up a prison tattoo, proving your flexibility. You have 6 hours to tattoo, and your time begins now.
My canvas wants a realistic baboon. It's a badass looking design, but it's a lot of work to get done with all the texture and detail in 6 hours.
Why'd you have to pick something with all that fur, man?
I could be really shooting myself in the foot here.
Frank.
And this is a rough one, man.
Tried to go a little bit ballsy. I knew there was going to be a lot of detail.
But the detail, this does not translate. If you just saw the tongue, you're not going to know that's a tongue.
It's like a ball sack.
There's not one clean bit of outline anywhere. You showed me everything you can't do. Don't do things to point out your weaknesses. Do things to point out your strengths.
Maddie? How do you feel about what you did here?
For doing a dragon, thought I did pretty well.
Towers are way off. The right side of the castle's taking a left.
I did it on purpose.
If you put this stencil on the skin and looked at those two towers and said, let's do this, that's not right. The area where the cover-up is so much darker than any of the rest of this tattoo.
That's gonna make you feel better.
Yeah.
Look at that, dude. That is super badass.
His dragon's better than mine.
Dude, that is bad as hell, man.
The basic thing of this is to find the worst tattoo.
Frank McManus, who feels that should be one of the bottom?
That would be mine. I was going for another pit bull, more realistic, and then we ended up doing a baboon.
It looks like a dead baboon with a broken jaw.
I believe you should have closed his mouth and showed more of the face.
That might be the worst one.
That's one of the bottoms. Does anyone feel that Maddie's tattoo should be on the bottom?
Maddie was my artist. She wanted to redeem herself from yesterday.
To me, I see there's no contrast between the castle and the dragon. If she would have made the dragon a different color...
I wanted black and gray, though. That's what I wanted.
So then where'd the red come from?
She hurt me, bro. My screaming on fire. Her technique was not up to par.
So we got Frank, and we have Maddie.
Maddie, you're here because the human canvas jury determined that you had the worst tattoo of the day.
Wow.
That's basically a non-tattooing eye calling you out.
I think my design was great.
Why do you have an erect tower and a leaning tower?
It's like it's back here, like turned to the side.
No, it's jacked. It's not right.
If I would have done a portrait, I could have showed. I'm a portrait girl.
Welcome to
You didn't get
Summoner's
any of the
Rift.
textures. From the hair to the mouth to the teeth.
I really dug the mouth, man.
We're missing everything to judge.
I don't think all the shading's bad on that.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
This performance needs more sass. You do not have what it takes to be Ink Master.
There's not much in this to compare to the other two people that are in the bottom with you. You got outdone.
Please pack your machines and close shop. You have 6 hours to show adaptability with a cover-up. Your time begins now.
Pretty much the same thing what I drew on you.
Is there any way that you can move him over and take the Gavin hair off and then do like side ribbons?
I really don't like this. The last thing I need right now is a headache.
This is his son. I wondered kind of where I could put the kids under him.
There's no way to try and peg that in. Stop hindering me with your ideas. I've been doing this for a while, and you have to do this to where it actually works. You got a bad canvas, man.
Playing with color. What color the rose is gonna be.
I'm partly colorblind. But I'm partly colorblind.
Jim, let's start with you.
Doing these roses with all these using that cover up, that is gonna show through.
Rather be done black or
Definitely wouldn't have used yellow over top of the old black line cover up. You know better. For cover up. This was a cloud tattoo. It's insane.
Bunch of different ways you could approach that. A nice black and blue rose could have been a cover up. The horseshoes could have been
Had some bomb canvases.
There's 60 plus years of tattooing sitting at this table. You cannot tell me about it. Simple, very original tattoo. You're able to just knock it out of this goddamn park.
We're here to see the worst tattoo of the day.
My tattoo and Jim is my artist.
You guys see the old tattoo?
Yes. What is that insect? It looks like a praying mantis with butterfly wings.
First
The 9 legs are
blood.
killing me. I would be pissed with that.
To me, it is phenomenal. I mean, I cried when I first saw it. That is my tattoo. My artist was King Rose.
I know the tattoos that I had before too. You still see the lines. Look in the horseshoes. The lines are still there.
Yeah, you can still see the lines. I'm not pleased at all. The horseshoes to me look like cartoon magnets. The rose is pointed way down.
Not to really piss you off, but I'm going to. That tattoo's done.
You didn't even listen to what
see-through. And for cover-up, that's a no-go. There was a lot of tattoos that were done today that were not good. You should have been down here.
Help your canvases by covering a tattoo the way which we're asking. Now.
Nikki's giving me the guy who wants to search.
Looks so like serious.
Look, my biggest issue is my design. I can't get this water right, and I'm still trying to figure out how I'm gonna hide this old tattoo completely. And what I'm gonna do is this.
An ally has been slain.
The girls keep gaining momentum, and it's gonna be hard to stop them.
My canvas wanted different elements, but after talking and consulting, I'm gonna do two realistic three-dimensional roses and a nice little skull.
Trying to one-up me with some roses, huh?
I will not suffer this ugliness.
Damn it.
As a realism artist, I'm excited about this. If I were at home, this would right up my alley.
Never fought.
Artistically. First thing is the fluidity of the water. It's very stagnant and stiff. It should flow.
The water that's flying, to me, they look a bit like... It's really funny to me. This board that doesn't really look like a surfboard.
It looks like an ironing board to me. Your problem in this is your planning and your execution of how to get this design to fit into the new design you have.
Kevin.
I inspire
Tattoo's nice, but why again no outline still?
I'm a realism artist. To put lines in something realistic doesn't make sense to me.
I never did a tattoo. It looks great in the photo now, but in 1 or 2 years, all those
Enemy
threads are going to come together,
rampage.
and all that detail is going to go away.
If you're not willing to do those outlines, you're gonna have a rough time because the outline here is always gonna win.
All right, time to hear from the jury of peers. Why did you vote Boneface to the bottom?
This tattoo is just not good looking.
Just look like a cover-up.
That's fair. And I know improvements that I could have made, and I know where I messed up at. I don't like to make excuses.
How you were going to work this either in the new image or covering it. You did a partial redo and a partial cover-up.
Belongs to Kevin.
Never consciously winning it, put outlines in it.
It's crazy to me, man. I was in a competition where people judging me were telling me advice. Time to decide who's going home. Robert.
Boneface.
My vote is also for Boneface. The judges have decided. We do not wield a Comedic Master. Please pack your machines and close shop. 6 hours to tattoo a cover-up. And your time starts now.
Shrink it by like 20%. Because you also see, because of the shape of her body, your circle doesn't stay a circle.
Shrunk it, the whole body is right.
So then what if you just literally keep the whole thing down a bit?
I tried that before
And it was just too much on her body.
also, and yeah, it was too much.
Okay, so then straight up, lose the circle. Lose the circle.
Okay. Yep.
That's the most exquisite listener I have ever met in my life.
I won't get that far, so if I'm not really going to step forward and be vulnerable, I don't think that is the huge thing for me.
You achieve the cover-up fine. It's the rest of the tattoos that fall short. It's a good function. The fact that this branch goes one way and all stays tied together, got something different with it just to make it a little more attractive at first glance.
I hate this tattoo. There's a tree branch growing out of this woman's ass.
Also, there's a back that is creasing.
That is swelling.
No, what is swelling is the surrounding area.
Swelling in your head right now thinking you got us when you're going to go home.
Sorry, girl, but if I had that tattoo, I would cover up and not cover up. I can't be like this. Focus.
attractive looking tattoo. You do a great job to cover up. There's nothing that's going to show through that tattoo. Very flat, non-detailed image. Your outlines are pretty shaky in here. The outline on the top of the head, the outline around the bottom of that black hook on the leaf on the bottom, there's challenges left and right on this bad boy.
We both could have banged that thing out with that much detail in 2 hours.
I think that you're trying to save some people.
I'm not trying to save anybody because I'm not blind right here, man.
Everybody here
100%. The thing that we are known for doing in the competition is putting ink in skin. Who did that the best and who did it the worst? That being stated, I would sway my vote to Janelle.
The judges have decided, Janelle, you do not have what it takes to be Ink Master.
Those technical things are what it is.
I appreciate you guys. I'm taking everything in. Stop.
Please pass your machine.
Because I must be bound.
Straight to the car. Where those go? To prove your adaptability, draw your tattoos.
Has been slain.
You must draw with no wrench.
Each bullet is a piece of my soul.
No wrench. Just in the name for himself being an illustrator and coming up with images off the top of his head. Rude.
This is exactly what I need because I want to do something crazy. I want to do what I do. This is my comfort zone.
You guys will see on the competitive platform right here. Right out of your brain, right onto your skin. Go at it.
An enemy has been slain.
Your time starts now. Let's get it.
Jesse Smith and Anthony Michael could easily make it to the finale. One of them is not.
I specialize in rabbits, squirrels. I do the googly eyes and teeth.
These two tattooers have such a different background.
So you can do like a traditional eagle or something. That's
An ally has been slain.
Expect that.
Typically, experience is everything, but there are times where inexperience creates hunger and creates drive. We'll have to see how Anthony does going up against a veteran that knows how to
This is the first time in this competition that I've got a piece of ocean skin to do whatever I want. I'm taking advantage of it.
Favor likes those who have it.
I'm not one of the strong competitors, and I have an easier path to the finale. I'm ready to show these guys what I'm made of.
I screwed up the American traditional cricket strip. I have to redeem myself. I'm tattooing a freehand eagle across his shoulder.
I'm off the blood. I'm pretty much a badass.
All right, guys, we have 4 hours remaining.
I think right now Anthony's balls might be bigger than his head. He wants to impress the judges, but I need him to maintain control so that we can make it to the end like we planned.
I am a slave to this passion.
Everybody's helping Anthony out. Nobody's trying to help me out. I got 3 on top of 1 on the bottom. I have 4.
3 on top, 1 on the bottom.
I'm not competing against one person on this tattoo. I'm competing against 5.
I'm important in all things.
You know what? Adaptability is being able to take a bad situation and make it good.
Everybody's going to help Anthony because Jesse's tattoo is coming straight from his head. It's not going to be very easy to critique.
I think you should tell him I didn't eagle because he eats.
Anything you say about it, he could just throw it away in some imaginary fairy tale story.
Chaotic sea preys on skimperfish.
I don't know why Anthony's choosing to do traditional today when he doesn't do traditional.
Turret plate will fall soon.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is it. Time's up. Machine's down. No more.
I'm going to be so good.
Doing something that he loves to do. Crazy creatures.
Your mother's got superheroes. No intelligence. Can't get you on a nap because nobody knows.
Never
I think it's way more
there's some saturation issues, some muddy colors, like the orange spots that look scratchy and unfinished. There's some areas that I think could have been a little brighter instead of that pale yellow. Overall, have the more muted, washed out feel. It gives you a chance to really do something super light and pop down. So Jesse, there's no doubt about your creativity, but then looking at the consistency of the outline, there's a lot of different line ranges. You have some areas where you did where it looks like you had to pick up in some spots. Overall, you did a really good. This is going to boil down completely on both sides of the table to technicalities.
Anthony. Focus. This isn't really the most traditional
I wanted that feel. I know there's so much more about traditional Tetsu and there's so many rules involved. So I wanted to be a little looser, but keep some elements of traditional being black, and I tried to simplify the design as much as I could.
But have you drawn a lot of these eagles?
No.
Drawing an eagle like this from memory, very risky. Just going from nothing and coming up with an aesthetically pleasing look, I think it's a great take. I love this outline. Nice, crisp, but there's some questionable ways you did the feathers and the wings.
I didn't want the wings to look so uniform.
I shouldn't be able to see the feather lines go all the way to the base. That black should be black enough to where those lines disappear into the blackness. Where things get short, I don't love the brown stripes off the talons. It doesn't seem to me as powerful as everything else in the tattoo.
What do you guys got?
Never fought. I think it's a personal triumph for me. I mean, I was happy to watch him swing for the fences on that one.
I see more hiccups on the outline than that one because those cats is so crazy, but there's a science to doing what he does because there's 100,000 guys out there trying to do exactly what he does, but it doesn't work. So there is a right time to be a crazy character like that. When you look at that, you're like, that's Jesse Smith.
But then, if you're creating a fantasy character, I have to look at the character and believe it.
Not here, not
What I normally do, I drew with the tattoo machine while I was going over a lot of decisions I made that weren't on there when I started.
Which artist is going home?
They both have some kind of a technique issue. Some areas are right. I would say that there's a gap with coming down the outline. Anthony's tattoo has a much stronger outline. Looking at it line by line, pass by pass, stroke by stroke, the finesse that's in that outline, that is what's really strong.
In terms of overall readability and maybe just taking it up a notch, Anthony may have stepped a little bit further out of his comfort zone.
Never
Decision. Jesse, you do not have
Thank you for the second opportunity. I appreciate it.
Jesse, you do something that is really your own thing. And the fact that you tell us that story about this means you're actually thinking through it. This is the true side of an artist. It came down today to the simplest part of the whole tattoo, the outline.
Please pack your machines and close shop. Alright guys, you'll have 3 hours
Your
to
turret
rehang
has
your
been
designs,
destroyed.
and then 6 hours to tattoo. Based on your work, one shop will be out. Drawing time starts
Other than background, I was a little crazy. We don't need to overcomplicate. Trying to make it simple. Me too. My approach is to do something simple and very readable for Lalo. All he has to do is follow my lines and really make it amazing. Alright guys, you have 6 hours to tackle
your time. Starts now. Let's go.
Let's do it. This week, the tattoos are being judged on artistry. Freehanding is something that I want to know that an 8 master is going to be able to do. Directly to the outline of the machine, no steps. Because they see the vision and they have to translate that to the person that they do. Sometimes we do something I don't like them go. For this challenge, we decided it's best if I just walk away and let Lalo do his thing. Sometimes we don't work very good when we're sitting over each other's shoulder.
Do us proud, Lalo.
Don't worry, you're pretty ahead.
Please don't screw this up.
I'm a little disappointed in House of Monkey, only because the costume monster, it's cool, but he's just so much better than that.
Picasso!
Yeah.
Wanna take a look?
He is going crazy. That color palette makes no sense whatsoever.
Don't be nervous. It's a good day at House of Monkey.
We were supposed to have a nice monoblack and a simple color palette. We didn't need all this blue. Lalo, you had one job. The colors, man.
How did it feel for you? You good? Did I bring all the lines? Of course.
In the driver's seat.
Today you had to prove your artistry. House of Monkey. Picasso did the drawing and Lalo tattooed. I like the drawing a lot, but my only problem with the tattooing is the colors.
The problem with this tattoo is this big, scratchy baby blue bubble on the top, and this light green that's not finished when you practice. It's not solid, it's not smooth, just a lot of sloppiness.
Today, you had to freehand directly on your side. No stencil. Based on your work, one shop will be packing their machine. What's your future? Why did you go black straight tattoo at the bottom?
A lot of fundamental technical issues called out.
Yeah, we felt that House of Monkey had a stronger overall design than Black Spade did.
All we needed was a few more things to make this crispy and complete. I think that what they made might have been more of a mess than what you're seeing here.
It's a tough debate. I feel like House of Monkeys is a strong
Never change. Last we are only.
It's time to determine who is going home. I admire the artistry in House of Monkey, but the color play in Black Spade is more pleasing. My vote is for House of Monkey as well.
I respect you coming back. For you guys, as artistic and free as you are,
Today, one shop will be Dane, you did not tattoo one of the four horsemen. You must tattoo your teammate can consult, but cannot draw or tattoo. It's on you alone to keep your shop in this competition. I live for the applause. Onto your canvas's skin, freehand. You cannot use any stencils, and you must draw from scratch with no reference. You've each been randomly assigned a canvas, and the subject and style of your design is completely up to you.
Do something that you know is going to rile people in the room, and then deliver your best technical application. Looking at how you tattoo these things directly from a pen.
Too straight on. It needs to be like a little bit more facing this way.
Hard to separate what the judges want, what my teammates think I should do, what I think I should do. Like, I got three voices in my head.
Never
fall.
You guys all might be thinking you're an awesome game to that thing.
An enemy has been slain.
But I don't want to put too much.
I'd have gone bigger. The little bangers aren't going to get you in the end, I'll tell you that. I don't even know if we're going to have to do much work to break this alliance apart. They seem to be doing it to themselves. Everybody's crowded around Nate, giving him advice. If they don't screw this guy up, I'm going to be blown away.
Are you putting white in the whiskers or?
Doing it. It's going AWOL. Level down. I don't want to. She keeps me level.
Can I get you anything, or?
No, I'm fine. I just don't want to let her down.
Today, you had to face off, proving your adaptability, freehanding your design directly on the skin with no reference. Artistic skin design. Dave, you tattooed. I really like the different blends you have going on the leaves. You were able to put some depth and dimension to the background. It's really well done.
It's very cleanly executed, saturated, nice line work.
An
nice
ally
black,
has been slain.
highlights in the purple lid, in the back of the cheek. But I think there's some areas in the comic book that are weird. The way the brow furrows without really showing the other lid of the eye, there's a little bit of weird. You apply a clean tattoo, but there's 4 clean tattoos. Tough decisions to be made today.
Your turret has been destroyed.
I feel that Dane is a little bit more dimensional, a little bit more dynamic.
But Dane would have benefited from
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Do you guys feel like the wolf's missing an eye?
No, I think it's super stylized. I've never seen a wolf's mouth roll like that.
Totally. I didn't want to be super safe with it. I like how weird and wacky it is.
At the end of the day, to save your own ass, you want to make sure things line up. You want to create questions.
All right, let's make a final decision.
And it's kind of I would have to say that I would vote for artistic skin design to go home.
The judges have decided artistic skin design. You do not have what it takes to be master shop.
In this scene, people, all kinds of good tattoos are losing. That's how it goes at the end.
Please pack your machines and move out.
Thank you.
You must draw your tattoo directly onto your canvas's skin, freehand. You must push your skills to the limit and expertly finesse your design so that it fits the flow of your canvas body perfectly.
It's that easy. Skills are hard to see. Please show us what you're good at. Have a mental today to break it out and use it. You're gonna need it.
Based on your work, one of you will lose your shot at $100,000.
Enemy double kill.
They already did harm you. It's gonna be
I'm thinking about doing a Ponyo map because I know I can draw it and tattoo it in 6 hours.
It's just picking something that to make it just
Well, the funny part is you guys are technically really good at tattooing. And the designs suffer with it. And you look at really design, yeah, their technical suffers a little bit. So who's gonna outdo who?
do it. Can you do a Hanya wonky? This is what that shows the best that they've got to offer. For me, they both should go home.
With this tattoo, I'm showing that I do every style known to man. It looks exactly how I drew it. The color's bright, the line work is bold. There's no way I'm going home.
That's pretty awesome, man.
Thanks, man. Today, you faced off by freehanding your design directly onto the skin. Based on your work, one of you will be packing your machines. This is Jeremy. How did you feel about getting this challenge?
Ally has been slain.
Actually pull off a tattoo that's finished.
There's a lot of things going on here. Instead of making it a long, slender face, it's really short and really wide. But what's thrown you put the yellow as the light source, but the light source is everywhere, but then the front of the face isn't yellow.
This is a lowrider panel paint job. You got red stripes, red panels, and yellow stripes, and yellow panels. I don't really like the color placement.
just focus. You don't count the bottom teeth in between the canines. That's just 9
Never
7
falter.
teeth.
But they're all straight.
Yeah. Straight to the garbage. That's where those go.
I give him credit for going for it. You
An
can play
enemy
safe there.
is
He really swung
legendary.
for it. Obviously missed a little bit here, but he's fighting. You know, people don't think he's fighting because he's quiet, and he kicks himself, but the dude's fighting.
Jeremy's tattoo, but also as a canvas, if I got a shark that was all out of whack, I'd be a little bummed out about it.
Rolly's black and gray, Roby's line
Your
work.
turret has been
Technically,
destroyed.
Rolly is stronger. But for me, if we go to Jeremy's, the problems I have are light source, destruction, composition. It's a complete miss for that.
Have what it takes to be asymmetrical.
Doing great.
An ally has been slain.
Had the opportunity to come here, man.
Please back to your seat.
Defeat.
All right, guys, for this face-off, you must draw your tattoo directly on... canvases skin freehand. Without using a stencil, you must push your abilities to the limit and skillfully finesse your design so that it flawlessly fits the flow of your canvas's body. The subject and style of your tattoo is completely up to you.
Everything I love to do is realistic, and it's really hard to freehand realism.
Here's your chance. You get to show us what you can do directly on skin. Push yourselves to the limit. Make it legible. Make it clean. It's your job to be able to do it. If not, you shouldn't be here.
Based on your work, one of you will lose your shot at $100,000 and the title of Ink Master. And this time, you have 5 hours, and your time starts now.
Come on, guys, let's get it together.
Today, these artists have to freehand. This will be where they pull their mental stencil and show us what they got.
I thought it'd be cool to do a lucky crab claw. Kind of like a lucky rabbit's foot.
We're asking them to draw from their head and make it come to life.
I'm doing a traditional rose and a crying heart. Depending on how time's looking, I might even do a realistic eye inside the crying heart.
With color?
Yes.
Yeah, nice.
This is totally outside my wheelhouse, but it's definitely something I know I can draw off the top of my head.
You gotta splay them leaves a little bit. Otherwise, they're just two of them pointing the
Are
exact
these
same.
spread enough, or do you think?
No. No, I'd do one this way, one this way. I'll never want them going the exact same direction.
If I'm gonna do such a simple design, that means I need to execute it flawlessly.
Super cool.
You better make them bulletproof. Jess is doing a traditional ass rose right now.
Not even I'm going traditional right now, and that's what I like to do.
5 hours, one by quick.
Yeah, 5 quick.
I mean, for me at least, probably not so much for you.
Today, you faced off by freehanding your design directly onto the skin. And based on your work, one of you will be packing your machines. Jess.
It's very stale. This choice to just do this open skin heart with just this true gray in here, really taking it away from what you'd expect to see in a traditional style tattoo of this nature.
The rose has very different, very weird shapes for the exterior petals, not what you want to present on a day where you're drawing for your life.
It's time to determine who is going home.
Today, Jess's is the one that sticks out as the true bottom.
My vote's also for Jess. The judges have decided. Jess, you do not have what it takes to be Ink Master.
Jess, I don't think anybody here has maintained their composure or kept their head as straight as you have. Watching you work is just a pleasure, dude.
I appreciate the opportunity. It's a really humbling experience.
Please pack your machines and close shop. You'll have 7 hours to freehand your design directly onto your canvas's skin. Fail to impress the judges, and you'll be packing your bags. Good luck.
Alright, let's go figure this shit out.
So I'm thinking maybe skull around this bottom part and have some way to have the flag like flowing up this way.
If we can somehow have his hand possibly coming out of the side and holding onto a pair of handcuffs.
Okay. This guy wants so many elements, and he's pretty adamant that he wants it on his back. I don't know why I took a flat surface. His back is massive too.
My only issue, like composition-wise, if the flag is unfurled, where it would kind of flow down,
Like he wants it like flat.
this goes against the aspect of it being compositionally correct.
I'm feeling super stressed. If I up, I'm going home on a black and gray tattoo, and that's what I do all the time. Challenge for the day is composition. So yours is like a flat surface, so it's hard to find like a good composition. You can't like move it to like your leg or anything like that, right?
I'd rather not.
All right, artists, you have 7 hours to freehand your tattoo, and your time starts now.
Alright.
Alright, brother, let's do it.
I'm gonna shave you and get your back prepped, and then I'm gonna play with some stuff on your back and see what happens.
Today we're testing composition, and this is a perfect way because freehanding something onto the body allows for perfect placement. It allows for flow. It allows for the design to move with the muscle or body part.
I wish the tattoo actually felt like this.
Yeah,
It'd be a lot easier, wouldn't it?
If you're proficient at what you do, you can draw directly on the skin, use that as your guideline, and sail away.
I'm getting nowhere on the back. If I put the flag there, it's not really gonna show great composition if there isn't a reason for it. Where the flag would have to come stops weird. It's not like working.
If you do cap, it's just going to be a better area to do it. You're going to get what you want and still be able to, get an awesome piece.
Yeah, let's do it.
You cap? Okay.
Wet rock, girl.
Okay, I feel like I can breathe. Now I have to redesign this entire thing.
You're drawing.
I just want a final design to look at when I'm done, you know?
Why are you gonna draw it on a piece of paper again? Draw it on the calf. That's your paper.
5 hours left, guys. 5 more hours.
I am learning so much. They call me like the queen of the bottom because like I've done a lot of styles that I don't at home. I do black and gray realism.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Ash, shut up. Keep tattoos.
I don't know words. This is why like
I was like, when you're talking, you ain't tatting, so
I know.
shut it.
I'm always like.
I don't need your stories. You need to get your ass finished.
It is absolutely awesome. So I can't believe you finished that.
I'm going to throw up immediately after this.
Today you had to freehand your design directly onto your canvas. Women's team, let's start with you.
I hope they call me first.
Ash.
I was just kidding when I said I wanted to go first.
This really bold, really heavy black style plays well, but compositionally, doing the handcuffs and the skull would have been the best thing for you. You overwhelm yourself with so much flag and so little stars, so much choppiness and unease that you take away from all the nice work that you do in the skull and in the handcuffs. Flags are tough.
Today you are being tested on composition. Based on your work, one of you will be packing your machines.
I definitely struggled because it was a freehand challenge and I really wanted to take time to like really get my design down on the skin.
Having this big dark area over the top of this bright, nice lit head of the skull, the flag just takes this thing over and you really only need a little hint of it.
Well, as soon as I started, I knew I kind of messed up with doing it so big.
All right, guys, time to determine who's going home.
Anatomy problems on Jason, I think the more you look at it, the more those things stand out.
What it comes down to for me is that Ash's looks like a cover-up. The top triangle, because it's so out of sort, just that section looks like you covered something. My vote's for Ash.
The judges have decided, Ash, you do not have what it takes to be Ink Master.
You're resilient. You keep coming back. You never throw your girls under the bus. That quality for you as a human is an amazing quality. Don't ever lose that. Stay strong, stay loyal, and keep learning.
Yeah.
Ash, please pack your machines and close shop.
Thank you.
Morning, everybody. It's time for you all to tap into your proportion skills and tattoo a pinup girl on your human canvas. You'll be judged on the proportion of your pinup. You have 5 hours to complete your tattoo. The clock starts now.
Oh my god. That's perfect, dude.
Great pinup tattoos consist of beautiful features from the hair to the toes. The artist's main job here is to play with proportion. If you don't do the exaggeration the right way, it's going to be obviously off.
I'm just happy that you're putting it there because I really was against going anywhere else.
I love those boots. It makes her look like a fetish.
Are these gloves that she has on?
No, no.
Oh, no?
I mean, I can put glove on her if you want.
I think the gloves will do a little bit something like that too, you know? I think it's gonna look cool.
Beautiful, man. Leah's piece looks a little off. Her proportions were off, and like the way things bent on the human body, she didn't really tackle the job well.
No. I wish. Leah. You had a tough week last week. It was a close call for you. How are you feeling about this?
I feel good about it.
To me, pinups are stunningly gorgeous, and this one isn't. This is a disaster.
The elbow on her left arm, it doesn't look right with the angle. She doesn't have her arm twisted the correct way, and it doesn't look proportionate.
I really don't think I did a bad job. I think that she's a good base, and I can go back into it, add the details.
This isn't a competition to go back into it. You're here to do one great tattoo and walk away and compete.
I understand, but
There's no buts.
okay,
It's not.
but
I mean, as far
in
as
5
this
hours,
goes,
this is what I have. So
I don't know if you guys are just beat up or what, but I'm looking at the best 5 out of the 10 that are here, and this week's tattoos look like we're back in the beginning again.
You know, I get it that here we're supposed to like push ourselves like all the way to the end, you know, but
You didn't come here to win today.
Leah did not put enough definition into the pinup.
They equally did bad faces. He did 2 right feet, and she did 1 claw.
the gloves were an afterthought. I didn't think that it was gonna affect like the hand like that. I didn't realize because I added
did like after I did the drawing, and then when I did the shading, it's changed everything. I think I put the glove thing in the wrong. It's changing the whole arm.
Faces are a son of a bitch because they're one line away from greatness or failure. It's just consistency. And most everybody up here has shown consistency. All of you guys have pretty much been hanging. Whether you win or whatever, you guys have all been in the same position. You've been erratic.
The judges have decided. Leah, you don't have what it takes to be Ink Master. Please pack up your machines and leave.
Halfway through the tattoo, I realized those legs took me too long.
Legs?
I know. Got 2 hours.
Lalo, he's way behind everybody in this challenge.
Time is a problem.
Dude, that is scary. The face, it looks like Chucky. This week, we asked you to tattoo a pinup as gorgeous as the real thing, based solely on your photos. We were testing your attention to detail. Lalo.
This is the detail challenge. We're here looking for fine line details. This tattoo has very little detail at all. The little strap of her dress is just scritchy scratch lines that don't connect.
I hate to say this, but I ran out of time.
Damn! It's killing me.
I know the face didn't come out as I was expected.
Lalo next up here.
Artistically, this thing was butt-ass ugly in the sketch, in the line drawing, in the stencil, and in the tattoo.
Lalo, another tough outing. What's going on?
What happened with this pin-up today, I can't even understand how it happened. The only variable here that I think it makes the whole thing different is time. I never miss a face like that. I'm very methodic with what I do, but I never have pressure of time or nothing. I never start a tattoo until I'm ready. I came to a competition to compete, and there's no excuse for that.
The judges have decided. Lalo, you do not have what it takes to be Ink Master.
Lalo, you had a really rough run, buddy.
Having a darker canvas does not give you the ability to do bright colors. I'm a color specialist, so I hope to just kind of pass by on this one.
The canvas, sometimes they ask for things that you really don't want to do.
Craig's weakness is gray wash, and if you can't do gray wash, you shouldn't be able to be an ink master.
Craig.
When you take a black and gray look, but you go at it in a color approach, meaning you're coloring in such massive areas of the whole figure and not letting it breathe, it just gives it a weird look.
I'm toning down my coverage from the Day of the Dead.
You're getting better, but this whole approach to making it so solid and so colored, it's just gonna work against you. You need to get black and gray in your bag of tricks. This thing is just gray. These solid, dark fields of it don't do anything flattering for the woman's composition.
Craig.
The tattoo is just not appealing to me.
I did my best with the canvas and the piece I had to do.
But the shading, all these light grays scribbled roughly in here, it's knocking it down even further.
The judges have decided. Craig, you do not have what it takes to be Ink Master.
Craig, the issue is if you can't do black and gray, you can't be Ink Master. It's your Achilles heel.
Please pack your machines and close shop.
I went there and raised no fool, bro.
I had a football player model, and I convinced my canvas to change it to a military-style pinup. They're sexier. I can show more artistry in that. I'm ready. I'm hungry. I have more to show. This is not my best.
Not have
of it.
Please. Hours left.
Gia has what it takes to do this challenge because she can't pull a clean line.
Bone Face needs to go. If he screws up in this challenge, then I'm almost guaranteed a spot in the top 5. I don't have a great report card. This is totally my make or break tattoo, and so I have to nail this.
Gia is my girl, and I am seriously worried. Did you see everybody else's?
Well, I just saw Gia. I told her she got the one that I would have wanted. It was the cat.
That's the one I wanted too, but Gia has a worse report card than I do, and so I took one for the team.
That's literally what we thought.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yay!
That is awesome.
Gia.
Get right into the fence, You literally just have 4 broken pieces of wood that are nailed together in not in a square. I know you're going for that look like it's a fence falling apart, but I don't feel like you got that.
Once you really get into this and you start looking at anatomical issues, from the bend of the back of the knee, there's just a soft crescent moon shape that drops all the way to the ankle. There is no calf, there is no distinguishing shape. If you're gonna do a beautiful pinup, you don't wanna give her cankles.
There's definite problems with that ankle, or lack thereof an ankle. Definite problems with the leg that's going up that looks very thin. And up against the other people that are in the bottom, you're the one that's had the most technical flaws throughout this competition.
The judges have decided, Gia, you do not have what it takes to be Ink Master. Please pack your machines and close shop.
Today we're gonna make these artists switch every 30 minutes because we wanna see that you can do it all. If you came with a strong teammate, then you shouldn't have any worries.
As far as black and gray versus color, I think we would be cutting it super close if we did color. We think with black and gray we would get a better quality tattoo. We can move right along versus like trying to rush.
I really don't want it black and gray though.
My biggest concern is her skin type. There's wrinkly skin and it's super hard to pack color.
I know you really want color. We just want to make sure you get the best tattoo possible. I really wanted to have color.
We're
Dark should feel to Summoner's
You gotta be, or it ain't getting done, right?
We're definitely just feeling the pressures of things with our canvas not working with us and not budging on the black and gray. The color's definitely taking a
30 seconds until minions spawn.
There's that skin tone there, you know what I mean?
That is more of a skin tone.
I just wish we would stop getting dealt canvases.
The shadows are to be feared.
Cowgirl. Doing the weird, unattractive lady wearing like a big, oversized hat and a meat sack. Strange.
Pins and needles. It's not the most attractive pinup.
More on the side of
Minions have
dripping
spawned.
petal or lunch
I
meat,
hear the
anything other
innocent
than fabric.
cry.
We gotta talk about these legs. The back leg is just one width, one thickness, all the way up.
Wait, which one's the back leg?
That's the other debate. And you thought this is gonna fly, then you guys are crazy.
I would also say that Pins and Needles had a rough day. Proportionately, it seems completely crazy. That hand on top of the hat is just, it's not a human hand.
No.
Pins and Needles.
On wings
There's a
of
slew of
night.
problems that I have. The feet on this, the legs on this. You guys are just drawing at straws here on shading this tattoo.
Ours definitely does have some issues, but I feel like stuff that they had going on kind of stood out a little bit more.
I think there's equal technical challenges. My decision based on proportions is
I pass
pins and
judgment.
needles.
You know, my vote is always based on what just looks right. My vote is for Pins and Needles. The judges have decided Pins and Needles. You do not have what it takes to be able to shop.
You guys built the brand and you really put some shiny work out there. You guys definitely gave the big dogs a run for their money.
Please pack your machines and move out.
It's a little wide for her. She's so young.
Yeah, this leg doesn't look like it would make sense now.
Kay does not have what it takes to be in this competition unless Jimmy's there holding her hand, guiding her through everything she's doing.
The way I see it, it's like her leg needs to come like there.
I've been hunting for 3 years. Oh, wow. Yeah. So I'm the baby here. The greenest one. I mean, I'm one of the oldest tattooers here, but one of the least experienced.
In this competition, I might assume that I have a lot more time under my belt simply because I'm one of the oldest tattooers here. But I have experience than everybody else. Obviously, there are concerns in my so I'm wondering shade one way.
Can you bring it like shade in that way, like down like that?
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
I don't know why she wanted this tattoo, because she has issues pulling lines in the first place. Kay needs to go home.
So what do you think?
I'm glad I chose black and gray, even though I only had 3 hours to do mine. I know I'm safe. I don't think Kay's gonna be safe.
I love her. I think she's so beautiful.
Oh, she's gorgeous.
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay. It raises some questions anatomically.
Evil lurks around every corner.
Walnut round. It was with a frame. Of course, have to do that right there.
Okay, the biggest issue is the application that's in this big stand-up base. It's the color
soon as I started doing it, I knew that I didn't want to give you guys just a pinup.
All three of you on the line hit some very strong shortcomings against a field that was really, really talented today.
So we're looking at three camps. This is between the East and the East.
There's a little bit of rough application in Jess's, but the roughest application of the day is in Kay's tattoo.
Application aside, just in terms of anatomically laid out, my vote's for Kay.
An enemy has been slain.
The judges have decided Kay.
Shadows are too clear.
It takes a lot of guts and a lot of courage to show up
An
here
enemy
with only
has
3
been
years under
slain.
your belt. Congratulations for making it this far.
I am just incredibly grateful to have had this opportunity, and you guys are all my family.
Please pack your
I
machines
hear
and
the
close shop.
innocent cry out.
Never submit.
You have 6 hours to give your canvas a realistic landmark tattoo that shows dimension.
Remember something from Targa.
You have slain an enemy. An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain. Double kill.
6 hours. Have at it, baby.
My kind of option is to give him part of Mount Rushmore. A corner side where you only see 2 presidents and flags behind.
So far, so good. I'm almost done with the faces.
It's gonna be all slain.
This is pretty flat. It's all hit with like a direct light. I'm gonna use different line depths to really make this thing pop and show dimension.
There's absolutely no dimension into this tattoo. Josh has spent way too much time on his actual line work when he should have really been spending more time on his shading.
Don't bring negativity into my space, and we'll be good.
Evil lurks around.
I am super stoked to have somebody that can see, after only meeting him for a few minutes, that he is a big freaking jerk.
Obviously, Josh was talking because he can't compete. But when it comes down to it and you have to put up, I don't think he's got it.
2 more hours, everybody.
I smell black magics.
I'm happy that I got to take this bridge. I should be able to ride it. The picture itself is going to show dimension automatically. You've been to this point in the bridge right here? Like here? Yeah, of course. See it all the time.
He has his tattoo,
should fear
and
me.
there's a lot of things wrong with it. On the wires, his lines are all straight, so he's shading them dark over it just to kind of compensate that. He's just missing the mark.
An enemy has been slain. Shut
That's
down.
it. Time's up, machines down. No more ink.
Beware.
This week, we asked you to use dimension to tattoo a recognizable landmark. ES.
The pictures, a good picture to choose, like, as far as perspective and the way it fits the arm. With so much line work, there should be different sizes. Everything's equally the same thickness, and it kind of loses itself.
Had you used a thin liner and done those bridge lines lightly, it wouldn't look as similar. Everything looks the same. That's where Joey did everything so tiny and fine and then had those heavy areas. It's night and day.
Cleansing blood.
At the end of the day, having to go apples to apples to where versus his, you see the major differences.
Joshua.
The difference here, bro, is I want a healthy competition. I'm just trying to stir the pot. You, on the other hand, you fat and malicious and trendy.
So now you see what I've been doing.
This is probably the best canvas for you. It was one of the most outline-intensive designs. You've shown your strength in outlining throughout this competition, but where's the contrast? Where's the dark shadow? Where's the depth? You've got a lot of solid area of this light gray color. You don't have any shading. You missed the mark of the day, which is dimension.
An ally has been slain.
Tattoo, baby.
I do like the shape of this tattoo, like the way it fits the side of the leg. I like the flag, the color works awesome. So if you lose it in the faces, on one side of Lincoln's face, it would be darker, and you have white on both eyelids. That makes it realistic.
That rich black silhouette of Lincoln's face carrying over to the other face is exactly what you needed. It would have made the color pop. It would have made everything look so much better. You invented a half a portrait for nothing.
myself on this one.
Yes, tattoo baby, Joshua. Your tattoos fell flat, and one of you will be packing your machines. The human canvas jury had a very difficult deliberation.
These faces, they're just bad. There's no other word other than unacceptable.
I was done with it. I was actually pretty satisfied. I've been coming here and getting your critique, just reevaluating it and learning from it.
It's not even only about the background. It just wasn't thought through the way it was just gonna fade off. It just wasn't that hard.
Fuck, man.
Joshua.
You did such a flat piece. You
An ally has been slain.
outline is down here in the
Killing
bottom.
spree.
Flat wall. Literally, it was an
Shut
impossible
down.
task. Maybe you were just shaking your head. What were we thinking?
I think you could have put dimension into that piece.
You guys do know that I am the most technically capable person in this competition, and I'm a few bad decisions away from being one of the best artists here.
I disagree. You've been asking for certain things, and he hasn't given those things, and he's been here in the bottom a lot of times.
Upstairs in the house, all he does is cause problems, man.
Up in the house, all I do is defend myself against all your attacks.
We don't attack you.
Everybody
We're just...
does.
I don't bust out excuses. What kind of honor is that?
The judges have decided.
An enemy has been slain.
You do not have what it takes to be Ink Master.
It comes down to which one of these tattoos has the most weaknesses.
Please pack your machines. Close shop.
I think the judge's decision was wrong. It's like a slap in the face. Josh should have went home. I could go
should
better than that kid. It's whack.
All right, you have 6 hours to tattoo your canvas's spine. Your time begins.
Embrace the cosmos.
Line up the tattoo perfectly on the spine with the body, and they're very painful.
Okay, this bottom section underneath, because your spine's a little bit off.
Today I'm looking for a straight up battle.
Yeah, man, looks good.
I'm looking for everybody to put up a fight and try to stay in this competition.
Can't say this bitch for the ride.
Let's do it.
Say hello to the
I can see that the judges made the wrong decision. I shouldn't have been eliminated, and I'm here to make sure that doesn't happen.
3, 2, 1. That's it. Time is up. Machines down. No more tattooing. Today, you had to show finesse by tattooing on a difficult body part. This is this close of a image.
Has been slain. Enemy
Top
rampage.
of this thing before you get to that needle. Those lines are a little bit wobbly.
Putting a needle through the letter was bad.
Silver.
It's got to be more important to him than this needle, and you should not change the shape of that letter.
That was not my intentions. My intentions were to not blow up that building so damn big.
Any which way your intentions were, it changed the eye to anything else but that. You can't change the shape of somebody's letter, their tattoo,
You can't
regardless of
restructure
what
a
it
building
is.
either, Chris. If you'd have put that thing any
The
lower with the
shadows are
concave
to
of his
be
back, then your
feared.
building would have went like that.
I don't think there's that many tattooers in the building that would have run a needle through a letter. And everybody behind you is shaking their head no.
Josh. You were dealt the same hand as Jason was. What was your plan here?
He's a huge dude, and because of the size of his back and because of the concave, I had to do a lot of straightening of lines while I was tattooing.
Obviously, these long
Turret
lines,
plating
this curvature
will
of the body,
soon
you're going to
fall.
have some warped areas. But overall, it's very clean. Technically, it's a strong tattoo. It
Enemy
really
killing
does
spree.
have a striking image. It's bold. This was the hardest tattoo of the day by far. I think you did a good job for what you were given.
To a new school landmark.
seems. I think Ollie and I are in a dead heat. I don't think anybody's really running off with this thing yet. I just want to get to 5, and then I'm going to show them what's up.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Instead of doing this top part, I'm gonna just make that the top of the torch and bring it like behind there.
So it fits.
Yeah. Does that agree, Paul?
Yeah. For me as a captain, if my team is supposed to be as strong as the best it can be, then I'm happy to get rid of the weak ones.
An enemy is unstoppable.
I'm worried if I go to the bottom today, my report card can't help me too much. I gotta prove that I can be in the top 10.
My man Tito's
They will be killed.
today.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is it. Time's up. Machine's down. No more ink.
I release them from
Artistry
enemies dominate.
transforming a famous landmark into a new school tattoo.
It's questionable whether people are going to recognize this as a Lincoln Memorial. You've got to force that perspective all the way down so you can show both hands, maybe show more than Memorial. The feet should be this big and the head should be this big. That's like a hard forced perspective.
My handicap in this is I've been tattooing for 5 years. I don't know this style very well.
I really dislike the shape of the background. This hard shaped patch looks super off. I hate the cupcake frosting hair all the way around the face. What happened?
I was struggling
An
with
ally
it,
has
so
been
it
slain.
wasn't too wacky and too unrecognizable.
Your limitations of what you thought was crazy held you back.
Tito.
In dark. All
Depth and artistry, I have a multitude of problems with this drawing.
purifying
It's completely jacked. It's out of shape. Statue of Liberty, 7 points on the crown. You have 6. And that last point on the other side of the head, the way that point is connected to that crown and the direction that crown is turning.
It's cool. You bend it.
Weird choices. This is where your artistry is falling short. You should have just looked at the Statue of Liberty and drawn your own version.
Time to hear from the jury's ears. Team Tech, why did you vote Tito to the top?
There was so many the eyes, the eyebrows. He was thinking just because it's new school, he could just do whatever with it, but it's still gotta look good. Does it look like a Statue of Liberty? All day.
Tito, when did you even try in the drawing process?
The biggest letdown of this whole thing is just doing floating heads.
I pass judgment.
And if all you're gonna do to stay in this competition is draw a head, then you wrote your own ticket.
You know I got the fundamental. Some of the people, they can't pull straight line from day one.
Keyword today was a landmark, Nikki. So you needed to show more of the image.
I think it's not being
I
completely
smell an ally
knowledgeable of
has
what
been
useful
slain.
is. There's this whole body in there.
We don't know that this is the memorial. That's the main issue.
An enemy has been slain.
To determine who's going home.
Kill. Cleansing the light. An enemy has been slain.
The judges have decided, Tito, you do not have the Today, you must tattoo a black and gray, realistic U.S. landmark.
I hear the innocent cry.
Fail to impress the judges, and you will be going home. Good luck.
Go, man. I'm Bob. Nice meeting you. Today, I'm not looking for these guys to do a portrait of a landmark. I'm looking for these artists to render a landmark any way they see fit.
The Portland Red Light, it's a lighthouse known for being on a rock ledge.
This is a tough ask.
Your
The landmark
team
has
has
to be
destroyed
recognized.
a turret.
Otherwise, it could just be a corner in your block.
That's all it looks like. Black and gray realism, that's my thing. And honestly, I'm not even worried about the rest. It's just I don't think we're gonna be able to find a picture that'll fit that area and make it look good. That's my only concern.
very many other areas.
When I picked this canvas, 50% of my strategy was being able to move it, but she doesn't have any open areas. Yeah, you have a lot of stuff. So now.
The side is open.
That would be the risk.
I will release them from
White House. Lower back wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't a realism day. Left or right, which one do you feel better about today?
You don't think in the middle?
enemy has been slain.
It's never going to be like Gotcha. If I can't move this
An
place,
enemy
then
has
even
been slain.
done great.
You have slain an enemy.
I kind of really just want it in the center. I'm not gonna go too fancy.
It does a weird thing when it's on you, and it makes it look very unbalanced. See anything hip area at all?
Yeah, that's a possibility.
I could do that.
This one
Your
here.
team has destroyed a turret.
Make that work.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
You alright? First line I pull, this dude is an excruciating. It's a nightmare. I cannot get any area of solid, clean tattooing on this guy, and I'm.
You can sit there 2 minutes break until someone. I don't want to throw up on you.
It sucks to know that after all the hard work, I could be going home because this guy can't sit still.
4 hours left. You have 4 hours remaining, everybody.
Yeah, my parents will probably like this spot
I
better than the
smell
trap.
It's a mean spot, like the one on the back there. I'm feeling much better about doing this tattoo on the thigh, but it's still tricky. It's called the white. I have to recreate this in black.
When you start tattooing?
They wanted to see, right?
Realism is a time-consuming process. I don't do realism, so I'm trying to race through these last little details.
I don't even know if I'm gonna even put any of Jeff's lines because of all the rocks and stuff. It's 27, but
This is the dam to shade, which is the most important part because that is the monument. If I don't shade the monument, then
Your team has destroyed a turret.
2, 1. That's it. Scene's down. Time is up. No more ink. Today, we're going to show smooth shading, tattooing a black and gray realistic U.S. landmark. Let's see how you did. West, you're up.
The problem is it's such an immense structure that anywhere there is detail is going to be so tiny when you show the whole thing.
I realized that when I got down to doing it.
An ally has been slain.
Hop on, just working out to the rim of the dam.
But it does have those towers, and I didn't want to like omit something that makes it what it is.
Your one area of really nice shading is the face of the dam.
hear
The rocks
rampage.
look really nice on the lower sections. The top just has an unfinished look. I respect your moxie to go for it, but the top of this tattoo is a pretty big miss.
Rampage.
It is pretty messy. It's got rough line work, it's got rough shading. We look at the underside of the road, all that black is just really stripy.
For me, the real problem is that this road doesn't line up
Unstoppable.
and the fence doesn't line up with the
Double
sun.
kill.
Illustration is a very smart approach. It's just
Ennui.
Midwest, you're next. Frank.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
It is very messy. Now the detail you put into the 6-hour tattoo is crazy.
Your team has destroyed an
You have
inhibitor.
mid-tone areas, you have light areas, but there's no gradient, there's no transitions from dark to light. They're not wrong. Today, you're being tested on shading. Based on your work, one of you will be testing your machines. Angel, why did the jury appear to send Frank to the bottom?
At almost any point, I can zoom into it and find an issue. For example, look at the right 3 pillars. Those 3 aren't shaded the same at all.
The light's coming from one side, and that's why the pillars are shaded differently as they move back to
No,
where the
I mean
shaded
they're
part
shaded
is.
differently from each other.
Yeah, because
Not
they
from
are
the other
different
side.
pillars.
They all should have different shading because it is round and the light source is going to hit it differently.
I'm not going to sit here and say that I did the best tattoo I've done here. Like, that's not what we're arguing.
But you can tell that's the White House.
So did you disagree in terms of voting Frank down?
Oh, big time. I voted for Bob because he's by far the most illegible in the room.
I really
An
wanted to
enemy
show all the
has
pieces
been
of the dam.
slain.
I've been there before. If I just chop it off at the top, I'm going to get ridiculed forever for being like, yeah, but that's not the full dam. You didn't include the other power unit.
Not by me.
At least it's architecturally correct.
The Brooklyn Bridge, the bridge does not pass through that giant concrete slab that's at the bottom.
It's still recognizable as what it is.
But it's wrong. Like, you're doing a national landmark. It should be correct and treated as a landmark.
I wish that I could have put some more stuff into there, but I mean, it does look like the Brooklyn Bridge.
All right, judges, it is time to determine who's going home.
Out of all Bleed's tattoos, Jeff's tattoo has the best lost it.
But I would say that Jess's tattoo still looks like the bridge. Yes. When I look at Bob's tattoo, it takes me a moment to figure out, oh, this is the Hoover Dam.
The thing about Bob's tattoo is black's not solid in the water, but the bottom section is carefully rendered. At least there's a glimmer of application. Jessa, for what little there is everywhere in this, from line work to shading, there is not little problems, but major problems. For Jessa. Judges have decided. We're testing precision. Your tattoo doesn't look like the picture, you'll be packing. You have 6 hours to tattoo, and your time starts now.
Let's do this, man.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I was looking at like your making me a little nervous because it's a portrait, and I didn't really see any of those from you. So I was like, oh my god. I'm putting a lot of faith in you. That woman's a saint in my eyes. She always will be.
You know, you gotta have confidence in your artist because that negative projection sometimes works against you. My canvas is putting an immense amount of pressure on me.
Her face looks a little bit fatter.
We squish it down so it looks fatter. When we put it on your leg and it curves around your leg, it's gonna look skinnier. You see how it skinnies out? I'm convinced that the curve of the canvas is going to elongate the portrait. By squishing it down a little bit, it's going to compensate for that. I need you behind me on this, man.
Trust me, I need to be behind you on this.
Cleansing blood.
Everybody wants to know if I can pull this portrait off. It's pretty intimidating.
Guaranteed win.
I start coloring it like this, and I'm realizing that squishing the
Evil lurks around every corner.
How you feel?
As long as she don't look like she just got out of top of
Gave this guy a fat mark. That's the one fear that I can't escape.
That's how much she meant to the family.
I'm trying to
Shadows are to be seen.
scenario, even though I'm super freaking out on the inside. To make her look a little thinner, I put a little more shadow on the jawbone, and I also bring that hair in on the right side. But even after all that, it still looks chubby.
Face, I don't want anyone to see it.
I smell
Jesse
black
squeezed the image.
magic.
I'm not sure where that was a good idea.
I'm looking around at all the tattoos, and I'm realizing that mine's the worst. When it comes to elimination, whoever I'm in the bottom with,
The
I'm hoping
enemy's
the judges
inhibitor
will
has
see more
respawned.
potential in me moving forward.
Our news of night.
I gotta say, I don't feel like any of the details in this tattoo are precise.
But here to be a little more realistic. Here is a tough
The dynamite. I will release you.
talking about executing precision. Like, he made a face fat. You don't ever change the actual face, literally.
Your turret has been destroyed.
But hear him throw me under the bus like that is not a happy moment for me. Make a case for yourself. Don't make a case off of me.
But
The
that's what
dark
you do, man. You
should
say
fear
no.
me.
That's all I gotta say.
The judges have decided.
An enemy has been slain.
Jesse, you do not have what it takes to be a master.
Do a portrait. Your accuracy has to be
Evil
sharp.
lurks around
One little difference in any part of the face.
Even if the tattoo is perfect,
Perfection, yeah.
they're gonna be like, why did you cut this piece out or not that? You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm stunned.
I kind of figured.
And you're ready to just tackle this thing.
Yeah.
Jimmy's doing a tattoo of one of his judges. That's gotta
I
be
hear the
pretty
innocent
intimidating.
cry.
There are a lot of moles back here.
I know. My question is, if it's not the back, what do you suggest?
You got things on your legs at all?
No.
I would probably suggest legs, I guess. My canvas wants a tattoo on her back, but it is moly back there. I need a tattoo or somewhere else.
Who won the question? Jimmy?
Maybe I'll end up with a portrait of her mother on my leg.
Wow. What do you think?
I love it.
Oh my.
What do you think?
Wish
Shadows are to be feared. Unstoppable.
I can make it at this point as one of the new areas to
An enemy has been slain.
I would say almost absolutely not at all.
Somehow, I wiped his entire right eye off of my stencil.
On wings of light.
If you lose part of your stencil,
Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
something on a face.
Just do one eye.
As if it wasn't bad enough. This guy's sitting there watching me.
She's not a big girl, and a lot of people.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor. You have slain the enemy. Double kill. A summoner has disconnected.
To tattoo a subject intimidating for even the best tattoo artists. A portrait. Jason, you're up first. Was it nerve-wracking to have the subject of your portrait sitting in the room with you as you were...
It's a little threatening because
Yeah.
they're standing right there.
Yeah.
This is testing every one of my panic disorder buttons.
Overall, man, you did do some neat tricks to get some detail in there. The mustache and the beard, the detail is very nice. The mouth, you captured the little smirk. There's a couple spots you lost me on accuracy. Just the shape of his hair, the way it goes onto his shoulder, it doesn't have the same shape. But accuracy in the glasses, that's the big fudge on this thing.
It looks like you kept trying to sculpt it, and then you ended up changing the shape of the glasses.
Tried to put white in there, and then I noticed that it was thickening up.
This was the tattoo that needed the most accuracy because there were so many different textures. If you can't nail each texture, then it shows up a lot. It just threw it off.
Kyle.
You accurately captured a lot of parts about this lady. If you look at the shading on her nose, it actually has dimension. You actually put the contour in there. But then you went in here and put too much time in every wrinkle. You accentuated the parts of the photo that you kind of don't want to accentuate. I don't know if I was the first one to say it, but I definitely wasn't the only one to say Leatherface when I looked at this tattoo. It's not a flattering look.
I had to show accuracy.
I think your accuracy is one of the stronger points on it. You nailed it, dude. It's a lot more accurate, not to pinpoint Jason, than his glasses. You had a tough one, but I think you did a great job on it, personally.
Jimmy.
Your weak point is you didn't go dark enough. In the hair, in the eyes, the beard goes to the jawline. You kind of created some highlights in there that made it look lighter.
One of my biggest fears was to make the tattoo so dark
that it looked like a cover-up.
I mean, we see Dave all the time, and his hair's jet black. His eyes are super dark and smoky, and you took some liberties with your accuracy. Kind of takes away from what it could have really been.
That's what I first thought, because I was like, that's
Should have trusted it. You ended up doing way more work than you had to.
No better way to test accuracy than with portraits. We gotta send one of these guys home. Let's start off with Jimmy.
He has done smoother black and gray than his portrait. He just overthought it.
Yeah.
There's a couple things that Jimmy did on there that changed the look of it. Mainly that lower jaw.
He highlighted a lot of areas that are clearly dark in the photo.
Except we have Kyle.
Trying to replicate every little nook and cranny, it's a lot to put in there. She has areas where she is not as wrinkled in this photo, like the circles of her cheeks.
I know it doesn't aesthetically look pleasing, but it's more accurate than the one that Jimmy did of you.
Yeah.
And it's more accurate than the one that Jason did.
But out of Jimmy, Jason, and Kyle, Jason did the most aesthetically pleasing of the three.
There was mistakes. The whole shape of the glasses is off. The ear is darker than the whole face, and it's not in the photo.
Today, we tested your accuracy by asking you to tattoo a portrait that matches a photo, down to the last drop of ink. Jimmy, Jason, Kyle, the three of you were slightly off, and any one of you could justifiably be sent home. Kyle, you're here because the human canvas jury voted that you had the worst tattoo of the day.
I didn't really expect that. That's the people you're trying to please first, so that sucks.
This tattoo is way too little for all that texture. You don't have enough room to let the tattoo breathe, and that's what made it look so dark.
There's a lot of that that's going to come out. Those creases, they weren't done with solid black at all.
Jason.
You didn't do a horrible tattoo, but when we line it up against everybody else's and look at the accuracy of all these things, the ear, the hair, the glasses, it's those details that are wrong.
I saw my shortcomings on that tattoo, and I know that this is not the best of me.
Jimmy.
Jimmy, you won black and gray, but because this challenge was named portrait, it hindered your black and gray. There was a lot of inaccuracies in your portrait. You should have stuck with your gut.
The judges have decided. Jason, you do not have what it takes to be Ink Master. Please pack your machines and close shop. You have 6 hours to tattoo an X-Men color portrait, and your time starts now.
Okay, let's do this. When looking at a color portrait, you're looking for it to be an exact replica of the photo. Therefore, everything has to be precise. The eyes have to line up, the shading on the nose has to be just right. You have to capture every little essence of the face.
So I'm feeling really good about my tattoo. It's coming out exactly the way I want it to.
Very nice, very nice. It's looking really good. The nose, lips, eyes, cheekbones look exactly like the reference. I love it.
My canvas wanted to get the knives in, but I'm very concerned about time. I'm very upset that I can't put them in. If I don't finish this tattoo, I'm screwed.
Because Warpath always has knives, as soon as you take his knives out, it's no longer Warpath. It could just be anybody. This is a huge mistake.
I just hope it looks good. You think it's gonna look good? I think it'll look cool. Okay.
Today, we ask you to use technical precision to create an X-Men color portrait. Lydia, what happened here with the negative space underneath this gentleman?
He initially had the knives, but I didn't have enough time, so I just figured I'd put a big X down there.
What makes this character recognizably X-Men are those blades. Missing those, it's very difficult for me to know who this is.
The problems with just the structure of the portrait, the shape on one side of the nose, the crease you put in and the dark shadow, they don't line up. In the photo, his lips are straight. In your tattoo, they look crooked. That's a big mark to miss.
Roland.
When you're doing a portrait, you've got to copy the structure of the face. She does not even have the same shape. The color fades are not there.
Color, as you know, is not my forte.
I don't find any redeeming qualities in this tattoo at all.
All right, today, technical precision, color portraits of X-Men characters. Let's talk about the bottom of the day. Lydia did Warpath.
This technical precision that she's lacking shows in just looking at the shape of the lips and looking at the shadow along the side of the face and the look of the hair.
It will take a lot of work to fix this face up.
And Roland.
This tattoo didn't keep the shape of the face. He didn't put the shadows on the tattoo in the same place as shadows in the portrait.
This is the antithesis of technical precision.
Today, you tattooed the best test of precision that there is. A color portrait. Roland, you're here because Scott put you up for elimination. Scott, why Why did you put Roland up for elimination?
I felt that his piece was one of the weakest. This one, that was it for him, in my opinion.
I will admit this is a very difficult tattoo that's been out of my repertoire, but I'm here to fight. I'm here to stay here.
Lydia, you're here because the human canvases determined that you had the worst tattoo of the day.
As far as my tattoo being worse than Roland, I don't agree with that. I believe I'm a better tattoo artist than him.
When the human canvas jury calls you down, that for you is a major nail in the coffin. That's your client base.
It was a tough tattoo to get through, and I overthought it.
Roland and Lydia, either one of you could be packing your machines. The judges have decided. Roland, you do not have what it takes to be Ink Master. Okay, artists, you have 6 hours to tattoo a portrait. Only 5 of you remain, and 4 of you will move on. And your time starts now.
Right.
Let's do it.
Get on it.
Just stand straight up and just relax. With portraits, precision's essential because this is where everything has to be dead on. Every single drop of ink that you apply to that portrait is going to be a reflection of the face in the picture, and it can't be off. If you change a feature on a face, you're out.
When I do a tattoo, I'm like, do this tattoo like you would be okay with walking around with it. My canvas originally wanted his wife's portrait on his arm, and I talked him into moving it on his thigh. This is much better placement, but this tattoo has a lot of things going against me right now. The hair could totally make or break this tattoo. I need to make sure the hair is flowing, but not super crazy. And on top of everything, it is so stressful having this woman watch me tattoo her face. This is a ton of pressure right now.
That's what stoked me out on it, man, is all the little crazy metals and stuff.
Give me a chance to get fancy.
I purposely picked this photo because you can't really see the face. My strategy is to make this jacket and this helmet look so on point that it's undeniably a good tattoo, and they can only pick apart the face so much because the face isn't even there.
Holy crap, that's sick.
All the little detail on the metals, it's like, holy Christ.
Kruzman's tattoo turned out exactly like we thought it would. It's busted. His face looks like it's melting down his neck. It's not fixable. That portrait will never look right. Kruzman, pack your bags.
Today, you had to give canvases and their loved ones a way to stay together even when military service keeps them apart by tattooing a portrait. Kruzman, start with you. Speaking about precision specifically, there are really great examples of that in the uniform itself. I love what you did with the name tag and the little elements on the jacket, those fine details.
That's why I picked this one. There was the least amount of face to do, and I am not a portrait tattooer, so I figured that that was my only hope of holding on.
It looks like some of the shading in the face got away from you, especially that line in the nose.
The shading you put in the nose takes the nose in the wrong direction. His chin going into his neck, you needed to up the definition of that a little bit to show which one of these crease lines is his actual face and which one is the neck.
You see what you did inside the jacket with the tie and that reflection of the shirt? You were confident because it wasn't a face.
I totally was.
If you're not confident in a face, don't treat it like a face. Just treat it as shapes and go in with the same confidence that you go in the jacket area, because you can do it. There are examples of the precision that's necessary to hit those things.
Duffy.
One thing I will say about your portrait is you do have smooth, good areas of gray, but the really heavy cheeks that you gave her, those really weren't as pronounced in the photo. You changed her face completely by sagging her out. And because you didn't shade the 2 back teeth on the right, as dark as it is in the photo, you give her buck teeth.
The problem with your hair is where it meets the head. It looks like she's bald, and she's wearing a wig, and the wig is slipping off to the back. You put a real crease between her bridge of her nose up to her eyebrow. It totally re-contoured the lay of the land. You don't capture the spirit.
Today we're testing precision with portrait tattoos.
Kruzman definitely has a lot of problems in his tattoo. The dark shading he put in the face in the wrong spots.
Looks like something bad happened to him.
He's got a broken nose for sure.
The ridge of the nose is a right turn, and that's really taking this tattoo out.
Duffy's, I don't think it looks like this woman at all. If you look at her photo, she is an attractive woman, but the tattoo, it is scary.
Duffy really loses it because she gives this woman melting cheeks, incredibly pushed out teeth. She has some really nice shading in this. Her shading is nicer than Kruzman's, but unfortunately it's not right.
Today you had to tattoo the ultimate test of precision, a portrait. It's time to find out who the human canvas jury determined had the worst tattoo of the day. Duffy, you're here because the human canvas jury determined that you had the worst tattoo of the day.
That's the last thing I wanted to do, was disappoint you, especially under the circumstances.
Frank and Gladys, why did the jury vote Duffy to the bottom?
My wife looks a little different.
My face looks bigger than what it is. My teeth are a little bit closer together, and the hairline looks receded on one side. I just look different.
Every single mistake counted on this one.
I over-exaggerated some things I thought would be really good definition. I apologize.
All right, guys, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's all right, kiddo.
It's just not the tattoo you wanted to disappoint on for sure.
When I look at Kruzman's, first glance, it looks like the photo, but when I pay attention to the face, it's up. One line of shading on your nose, this tattoo.
Because you don't cap the ridge to create that hot spot on the bulb of the nose. Without that, you completely change the dynamic of the face.
If it at least just had one perimeter outline around this guy's facial shape, it would not look like he's wearing a wet paper bag for skin. A few little lines could have kept you out of the bottom.
Well, we have the last master and apprentice duo standing here before us. One can move on, and one has to go home. And we have to decide that.
If they're equal, flows for the master. He gave her the gift of tattooing. And when it's handed over properly, look where good tattooing ethics gets the apprentice. To the end.
I'll say that the reason why Kruzman's is more appealing is not the portrait part of the tattoo, it's the uniform, the framework that lent itself to look more like that photo. But when you go down to face versus face, I think Duffy's face looks more human. The judges have decided. Duffy, you do not have what it takes to be Ink Master. Please pack your machines and close shop. Okay, artists, you will have 6 hours to tattoo matching portraits. Your time starts now.
All right.
Yes.
Do it.
When you go get a portrait, you don't want it to almost look like the person, almost don't count.
I think I should go a little bit smaller than this and a little bit bigger than that.
It's very important that they stay precise to the photo as well as to each other. This is tough. You don't know if your partner's gonna go off on a tangent and do something crazy.
Are you super ready? Let's do this, April.
Can you check what I'm doing to make sure that we're on the same page?
Yeah.
I am at Eva's mercy on this one. I'm definitely not the best portrait tattooer.
So this is the gap where it's like where this is.
Yeah. There's one lower and one higher.
So
And they
this
kind of wrap around. Yep, you got it.
like that.
Yeah, that looks right to me.
I know that she knows what she's doing, so I'm just gonna try to do the same. It's a trust game at this point.
What do you got for in this section? Is that a 1 and then this is a skin tone, or is that?
Most likely. I haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm a little worried about Tom because it has been so long since he's done a portrait.
I'm gonna say that's a skin tone. Yeah, that's a skin tone. Or I'm sorry, that's a 1.
I just hope that he can rely on my strengths to help guide him through it because you can't wander on a portrait. You have to do exactly what's in front of you.
Today, you had to tattoo the ultimate test of precision, matching portraits, Allegory Arts.
You very clearly missed the mark on details in the photo. Y'all had the same approach for this nose, but that is not a human nose. It has a very feline look to it.
Euless, the tattoo doesn't look like this little girl. The eyes, they're just different shapes.
Eva, I think you did get in there with a lot more precise detail on the hair. And overall, the technique and the shading is smoother, but you still distort the shape of her face. The shading you put above her left eye, you create these indentions and protrusions that just aren't there.
Nailed it.
The coffin, yeah.
Classic trilogy tattoo.
Let's keep it 100. Your tattoos, they're different, big time. The hair looks different, the eyes look different, the noses, the mouths.
Tom's eyes are doing different things. One's looking up, one's bugging out.
You create this real stern lip on that right eye that gives it more of a creature type feature on the outside. Swing and a miss.
Artistic skin design.
Usually you look at a portrait and you're drawn to the eyes. I'm drawn to the clothing. On both of them, that sweater and that shirt, I see precision all day, but it just looks like a different artist did the top half.
In both of them, the hair is completely different. Dane, you brought the left side down a little further. In April, you brought the right side up a little. They're not consistent or precise with the photo, and certainly not with each other. All right, guys, today we're testing precision. Who do you guys think are on the chopping block to go home? Neither of these tattoos look like each other, nor do they look like the child.
How do the eyes that occurred on Eva's face, how does that even occur? And then artistics, these things.
Wow. They must have wasted 4.5 hours on that little sweater and collar and about an hour and a half on the face.
But I'd rather have classic in the bottom. I don't think either one of them captured a portrait-style tattoo or this face.
Today, you had to prove that your precision is on point. Based on your work, one shop will be packing their machines. All right, jury appears. Why did you vote Allegory Arts to the bottom?
This was the cutest, most adorable subject, and that's not what the tattoos look like.
Guys, there's a lot of things here that are off. The discrepancy in the eyes, the Y's in the nose, just a huge head shaker.
But they look closer to the same artist than Classic Trilogies does.
But I put a face that was more accurate to the photo.
Yeah, I think that you look at classic trilogies, neither one of them look like the photo, and neither one of them look like each other.
If they both looked exactly like yours, Derek, I would have no problem.
I definitely dropped the ball.
This application is just messy.
Just look at the hair and you're like, what is that?
But it is a woman, artistic skin design. If you're not looking at the kid, they look like little old men.
Both these tattoos have a very undone feel for me.
Normally when I do portraits, I build up layers, and there was no building up layers.
Well, I think you just panicked. It started getting red and you're like, damn, I don't want to put no more ink. But sometimes you just got to trust your skill. If you would have tattooed the rest of the portrait at the level you tattooed the clothing, you wouldn't have been there, you know?
Well, we do have to make a decision here.
Too much of a mess. Classic Trilogy.
I'm just a canvas, and Allegory looks like a weird kid. My vote is for Allegory.
I'd rather wear Derek's tattoo than any of Allegory.
But it's a competition, and it's not what I want. It's what the competition wants, so
They did them exactly alike. They did them different. I guess I would have to say classic.
The judges have decided Classic Trilogy tattoo. You do not have what it takes to be master shop.
You guys tattoo a little different, and I think that's what got you here. Learn from this.
Hell yeah.
Please pack your machines and move out.
We're doing full size. These details are going to be like as close as I can. It's going to be like a pinup. Well, I was thinking about maybe like doing like a little flower in front of it. You know, so you have like a little illustration, and then like you have her, so it makes sense, like the transition.
But that's like flower on my wrist. I don't give a shit about flowers at all.
Maybe I could put a ribbon under it.
But I don't know if I like the ribbon.
This canvas is giving me such a hard time. She doesn't want to work with me in any aspect of this.
Could you do like a stone?
I think that's going to feel like morbid, like a tombstone.
I personally don't mind if it just ends.
I do. Like, that's like the most unartistic way to end it is unflattering.
She has to meet me in the middle or I'm going home.
The flower is literally just...
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Seconds until minions spawn. The The shadows are to be feared. Minions have spawned.
An afterthought.
But I feel like it's
Beware.
And then tomorrow I'll be like, what the did I do?
Artists, you have 6 hours to tattoo a traditional illustrative portrait, and your time begins now.
All right, dude, let's do it.
See if we can get this thing to work.
Step on over here, man.
This is Portrait Day with a twist. We're asking these artists to do renderings of
smell
photographs.
black
So the
magics.
photograph and the portrait that they create have to look alike, but they have full license to use heavy lines, heavy color, deep black shading.
I think we'll be able to pull it off. Let's do it.
They can do it as they see fit as long as they capture the look of the picture.
I was afraid that
Evil lurks around
I definitely went back and I was like, I don't think this is gonna work.
Since I gotta go more illustrative, now I have to show a little bit more detail, and the face is too small to show all the details and make it look like this person.
I got a little nervous. I'm rough about it.
Well, we felt the same, but we feel the same now, so that's
On
fine. That's it.
wings.
See, and I with the tattoo, and I don't know how to post it without making it better. Oh my god, I was like, are you kidding?
Tough crowd, tough crowd.
Shook as
Jason.
silver of the month.
There's aspects of this that you do capture at least the look of the subject, but I'm not a fan of the hair. The black stripe that you put in the hair for the shading makes it look like the hair's flat, and then it's got a big juicy back. The right side of the hair doesn't really look like hair. It looks like shape tucked to the side. The left eye to me looks
The
like you got
dark
punched.
should
Only that
fear
eye has
me.
this darkness to it. But adding the lure and the border did put it in a style of the
As far as capturing the look of the person with a simple drawing, you don't do it. If you look at her right eye, top of her eye is curved, and the tattoo, it's a straight line, and then curved underneath. Just a little look of what's going on. You lose the shape of the mouth, is off, the width of the neck.
As dark as you went in the collarbone, as weird as the
An
shoulders
ally has
come
been
out,
slain.
I can be like, okay, it's
An
that.
enemy has been slain.
Looking to
The
go that route
shadows
of
are to be
illustration, but what I
feared.
can't see is the precision in the face. The eyes don't line up. The nose has a crazy curve to it. The mouth is off center. And that's how the places where you need to be precise.
Women's team, you're next. Laura.
It is a nice, well-applied tattoo, but it's hard for me to say that this really looks like this girl. The expression on the face, you're not really getting that little tight grin, and her neck looks really wild. The way you have the back of her shoulder and her neck going all the way up to here, and her neck enormous.
The other thing that I really dislike, these black lines you put on the forehead that aren't connected. They're just random black lines there. I know that you're trying to show the suggestive loose hairs, but it's very strange.
I hear the innocent cry out.
Today we're testing precision traditional illustrative portraits.
Really assessing who did the best or the worst comes down to hitting the likeness of the subject upon displacement of the facial features. That's the problem. The eyes have to be on the same plane.
Necessarily looks like that mustache on the tattoo is literally a cone flipped upside down.
It's super plastic, potatoey face. He really doesn't need it.
Another artist that took some liberties in terms of shapes is Laura, surprisingly.
I just don't think it looks like the girl, really. The face looks different, the nose looks different, the mouth looks different.
Not working to our favor today.
Today you're being tested on precision. Based on your work,
Shut
one of
down.
you will be packing your machines. Danny, why did the women's team vote Jason to the top?
Laura felt that she could defend herself better with Jason's.
I mean, I'm sorry, Jason. Mine is the stronger out of the two, basing off of inconsistencies in the shading in the face, color packing, and then also the streaky white highlights.
Yes, her application may be a little better than mine, but that's not to say that there's anything about the small back line around the lips. There could have been solid little pieces of hair that start away from the hairline is an awkward choice.
The little wispies in the hair, I mean, you can't pull that out in a traditional way, like these little soft wispies.
Connected to the hairline.
Evil lurks
There's obviously
around.
black hairs growing out of the girl's forehead. One for the road. That have the precision. You guys know that stuff. You draw your extra marks are in the armor. All the
An
things in
ally
here
has
that you
been
do,
slain.
which is what you do, like rope, background, ruler, they have your style. They have a signature style. Stacking up style where you could have yes your customer to death, but done it the way you do it.
I got shifted up and I just went back in with blacks, making everything darker.
The base not having the precision that we're looking for, and the fact that you have some rougher shading, it's
The
not
dark
hitting the traditional, it's not
should
hitting
fear
the
me.
precision.
I've showed you guys in the past like what I've done. I know there's no report cards, but this is all bizarre to be down here. Like I've never had any type of anything like that. Like I've consistently did clean tattoos. I just had one hiccup of a day, and I know that's all it takes to send it on.
Sure, these canvases wanted a rendering that looked like pawn. So that's why I'm
An
going
enemy
with
has been slain.
my decision is for pawn.
Pawn.
The judges have decided. Pawn.
Beware.
You do not have what it takes to be Ink Master.
Hey man, I'm glad to have made it this far.
Please pack your machines and close shop.
Thank you.
I pass judgment. An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain. Enemy killing spree. Shadows are to be feared. I release them from their pain. An ally has been slain. I smell black magics. Cleansing blood with silver. Enemy rampage. An enemy has been slain. On wings of light. Shut down. I hear the innocent cry out. In the dark, all is laid bare. I bring swift death. Killing spree. Evil lurks around every corner. An enemy has been slain. Rampage. Double kill. The shadows are to be feared. I smell black magics. On wings of night.
Shall.
An ally has been slain. I hear the innocent cry. An enemy has been slain. Beware. An enemy has been slain. In the dark, all is laid bare. I have slain an enemy. Dominating. The dark should fear me. Godlike. Evil lurks around every corner. Turret plating will soon fall. They will be purified. I smell black magics. Killing spree. Legendary. An ally has been slain. Rampage. You have slain an enemy. Double kill. Ace. I hear the innocent cry. Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed a turret. Beware. A summoner has disconnected. Victory!
on showing everything I was taught in this competition. I'm showing artistry by choosing to draw this thing and not trace it. I'm showing technical application by pulling smooth, consistent lines. I'm showing gradation by bringing my solid, rich blacks to smooth, feathery finishes.
That's ridiculously dope, dude.
It's beautiful, it's smooth, and it ensures my way to the finale.
In this week's elimination tattoo, we'll be using only black.
Man carries a gun, he tends to use it.
Dan, you dead? Pity. I had just ordered a drink from that man.
Took a job looking for...
Your family.
And now he's back
Machete.
for his most dangerous mission yet.
We need you, Machete. There's a revolutionary south of the border. He's got a missile aimed at Washington.
Noah had his arc. I got mine.
Machete, go kick some ass.
I'll be your handler. You ready for this? Good for calls, texts, tweets.
Machete don't tweet.
The enemy may have a missile, but we have Machete.
Machete kills. That's what he does.
You can't beat my army of super soldiers.
Bring me my double D's.
Hook her up, lover boy!
You've seen my face.
Muy bien indeed.
I smell fish taco.
And that always stuck with me. Got a new job. But the really big news, I met my son. I'm sorry I wasn't there for you.
You recognize him? He used to run these streets.
I feel I got like a second chance.
Yo, I want to get some of that.
I know I got a second chance.
Go take care of him.
Peeking a probe. Peeking a serious intent to probe.
Alpha 2, we might have guys starting moving on position.
Copy, we're getting a buildup of activity here too.
Yeah, we have definite massing.
Hello? Howdy. Howdy.
Honey, the new neighbor invited you over for a drink at 8 tonight. I said you'd go.
You don't know my schedule.
You sit there every night. Might be nice to have a pal, you know? A bud.
Hey guys, this is my neighbor Craig. He's the best. I mean, this spiraling. I mean, I see the way the guys look at her. I'm scared.
Sheila's lucky to have a dad like you.
Boy, you should know that I've got you on my mind. Your secret admirer. I've been watching you at night. I think of you. I want to be your baby mate. If your game is on, you can call through. If your love is strong,
I can see the future. It's full of pals. I'm on the edge of life, and the view is gorgeous.
look, we had a couple of really nice hangs, but I think it best that we go our separate ways. I don't wish to continue this friendship.
You all accepted me way too fast. You can't do that. You made me feel too free. People need rules.
You should be dead, you psycho! Who are you?
Give me a second chance. Get to know me.
There's
Watch that for sure.